Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking on one of the most fundamental questions out there. What is the universe truly made of? And I'll tell you right now, the answer is way, way stranger than you probably think. So, what is the universe really made of? You might be thinking, well, that's easy. Atoms, right? Little particles. But what if I told you the deepest, most fundamental reality is something else entirely? Something far stranger than you can even imagine. See, we're not looking for a single, tiny building block. For centuries, that's what science was after. But that whole search, it's kind of misleading. The real answer isn't a particle. No, it's more like a ladder of possibilities. The truth about matter is really a scale of different states of reality. And we're going to climb down that ladder, step by step. And our guide on this incredible journey, the most extreme objects in the entire cosmos, stars. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by totally rethinking what a star is. Then we'll lay out the 6 levels of reality we're going to explore. We'll journey down from familiar atoms and quarks, push beyond physical stuff, see what happens when matter becomes pure geometry, and finally wrap our heads around the true nature of matter. Let's do it. All right, first things first. We have to adjust our thinking. A star is not just a thing. We tend to think, some stars are bigger, some are hotter, but the real difference is way more profound than that. They actually represent fundamentally different kinds of existence. And this is our map for that journey. We're going to organize stars and, well, everything, along what you could call an ontological ladder. It's a fancy term, but it just means a ladder of existence. It's a way to get from the complex stuff we see all around us all the way down to the absolute, most basic foundation of reality itself. So here's how our descent looks. We start at the top, step 1, with atomic matter, stuff we know. Then things get wild. Step 2, nucleonic matter. Step 3, quark matter. And then we leave the world of stuff behind entirely for step 4, fundamental fields, and step 5, vacuum energy. And at the very bottom of it all, step 6, pure geometry. Okay, let's start at the top and work our way down. So we're beginning our descent in what we can call the particle realm. This is matter that is still, made of stuff. We can still think of them as particles, even if they're starting to behave in really, really strange ways. Okay, level 1, atomic matter. This is home turf. This is matter as you and I know it. Atoms, plasma, it's the reality of stars like our own sun. It's comfortable, it's governed by rules we understand pretty well. But what happens when you take that matter and you apply an absolutely immense amount of pressure? Well, you get to level 2, nucleonic matter. At this point, the atoms themselves are gone. They've been literally crushed out of existence. Electrons are forced into the nuclei, and what's left is this incredibly dense soup of protons and neutrons. We're talking about a white dwarf or a neutron star here. The only thing stopping it from collapsing completely is quantum pressure. And the density, oh man, the density is just staggering. We're talking about 10 to the power of 14 grams per cubic centimeter. Now, that's a number that's so big it's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? It's just a number on a screen. So let me put that into perspective for you. That's like squeezing all of humanity, every single person on the planet, into a single sugar cube. Just think about that for a second. And guess what? We can go even denser. When nature squeezes even harder, you reach the next level down. This is level 3, quark matter. In here, inside a theoretical quark star, even the protons and neutrons can't hold it together anymore. They literally dissolve into this fluid of their most basic parts, free quarks and gluons. At this point, matter isn't really a collection of particles anymore. It's become a single collective quantum fluid. Okay, deep breath. We are now crossing a huge, huge threshold. We are leaving the world of physical stuff, of particles, behind entirely. So, the big question is, if these next objects aren't made of particles, what are they made of? So here's the mental jump we all have to make. Stop thinking about matter as tiny little bricks. That's the particle view. Instead, imagine the universe is filled with these fundamental fields, like an ocean. The field view says that a particle is just a stable vibration in that field. It's like a persistent wave in the water. Matter isn't a thing, it's a behavior. And that idea brings us to level 4 and level 5. At level 4, you have theoretical things like boson stars. They're not made of particles. They're just stable, coherent configurations in a field.
Think of it like a giant self-sustaining wave. And then it gets even crazier. Level 5 is vacuum energy. Here, you have objects like gravastars, which are theorized to be made from the energy of empty space itself. Literally nothing that has so much energy it creates gravity.
All right, here we are, the final destination. We've reached the very last rung on the ladder. This is where the concepts of matter, of energy, of stuff, they all just dissolve completely. What's at level 6? What's at the very bottom of the scale? Well, after you've stripped away the atoms, stripped away the nucleons and quarks, after you've even stripped away the fields themselves, what's left is geometry. What's left is a black hole. And here's the mind-bending part. A black hole isn't made of anything. There's no matter inside. There are no fields. Its entire existence, its mass, is expressed only as the curvature of space-time. It's not a thing in space-time. It is a shape of space-time. It's the ultimate reduction, right? It's form without any content. It's the purest state of being on our entire ladder. All the stuff is gone. All that's left is the shape it leaves behind on reality itself. Okay, wow, so let's pull back up from the bottom of that ladder. After a journey like that, let's take a look at the big picture and see what this new perspective really tells us. So here it is, our whole journey laid out. At the top of our ontological scale, we've got stars made of atoms. Then you go down, you get white dwarfs and neutron stars made of nucleons. Go deeper, you have theoretical quark stars. Deeper still, boson stars made of fields, gravastars made of vacuum, and right at the bottom, black holes made of pure geometry. You can see the pattern, right? It's a journey from complexity to simplicity, from content to pure form. And that brings us to the most important idea of all. And the key takeaway is this: stars are not just objects, they are states of what matter can be. The life of a star isn't just about burning fuel, it's a one-way journey, a descent down this ladder from complex stuff towards the most fundamental structure of the universe itself. It's a trip right to the absolute edge of what our physics can even describe. And that brings us to the final thought: the edges between these levels. That's where our current physics completely breaks down. What new reality lies hidden in those gaps? Those transitions are the real frontiers. And figuring out what's in there, well, that could completely rewrite everything we think we know about the universe.